Welcome. In this episode, we're going to show you how to troubleshoot an electrical power outlet in your car and how to see if your fuses are the problem or something else. This is the same troubleshooting process for every electric device in your car. So while we're talking about the power outlet, it truly applies to virtually everything that you might have in your car that is powered by electricity and therefore it is fused at some point.
So where are we going?
We're not going anywhere.
Then what are we doing?
That's the fun part. We're going to talk with our subscribers and viewers about a very common problem that mechanics like to charge a lot of money to fix.
Okay.
That is typical electrical issues, you know, especially when it's called electrical, because people are shy away from them, they're immediately a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this car, we have a power port here, which actually is the only power port in the whole car, not in half the car, it's the whole car.
The whole car.
And when we plug something in, nothing happens. Now, I know already this doesn't work because it will not charge my phone or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in most cases, a light will light when you plug it in, right? In most everyone. And you have another one with you?
Here, he's got one here too. I think.
Okay.
But we also have a third one to show you.
So even if you don't have one, we're going to show you. Nothing lights there.
I feel like this one though is like...
No, it lights a different color when it is used. And nothing lights here. Now, if you don't have one, we're going to show you how to test to make sure that the problem is not your plug-in device, right?
Okay.
Now, if you have another car, and we can show you that too, you can simply go to the other car and plug it in and see if the light comes on, right?
Right. See if it's your device or the
Right.
port. Okay.
If you have a 9-volt battery, you don't require to have a very expensive setting, but a 9-volt battery is enough to light the little light, right?
This little wire control.
No, you can use just 2 pieces of wire.
Okay.
The only important thing is that you go positive to positive, negative to negative, otherwise you can burn the little device, right? But as you can see, we have, I hope you can see because I cannot see it, we do have there a light, right? I stopped. What?
There we go. There. Now we can see it.
And let's see if it lights the other one.
Right there.
Now, this is very useful if you do any automotive troubleshooting, by the way. But again, it's not necessary. It's not something you have to go out and buy. But if you want to buy, those are very inexpensive. You can buy them on Amazon for under $4.
There's our blue light.
So even if it is exotic, a 9-volt battery has enough to power it, right? Yeah, this is a standard 9-volt battery, nothing exciting. If you have a 12-volt battery, that is exactly the voltage that the car produces. So that's, I would say, I don't want to say even better, but it is.
But it'll work.
Right. Now, the next step, the most common reason why this will happen would be a blown fusing. And most people will immediately go to the fuse box that's under the hood. But don't do that. Virtually every car has a secondary fuse box, which is for the accessories inside the car. And more often it's those fuses that blown because they are a smaller amperage. And you don't want the fuse that controls many things to blow.
And where do they like to hide them?
They're usually somewhere in the front of the car, under the steering wheel. It takes a little hunting.
So somewhere under the dash.
Right.
Sometimes
but there
it's
will be
on
a door.
But sometimes it's also on passenger, depending on.
Yeah.
So just look around.
You will see a little cover that either you have to use a screwdriver to open, or it will have a pull. In the Subaru case, they have a very nice pull that you can pull. And the next step, it's a little. It will help if you have a tool, and that would be a multimeter. Again, I recommend you buy one. You can buy one in Walmart for $5, and you can go and check the fuses. So that's what we're going to do next.
And if we're lucky, they might actually have it labeled some recognizable way.
They have it labeled, but it's not always.
That's what I mean.
Because remember our famous fuse backup?
Maybe you should put that card right here.
That has so many views. People love that. It solves
put
a
it
lot
there.
of people's problems, right?
Yep.
But yeah, what Elpida is talking about is most cars in both the under the hood fuse box and the under the dash fuse box, they have a diagram that tells you what each fuse is. And that makes things easier because at least you can narrow it down, right? These power ports a lot of times have their own fuse because they can draw quite a lot of amperage based on what you do. Like if you put, for example, an inverter to run a laptop or something, that can draw 10 amps or so easily, right? So they might have a 10 or 15 amp fuse. I don't know what they will have. We're going to find out. We have a tool, so we're going to use a multimeter to test our fuses.
Okay. We're back to the Subaru. This is driver's side, obviously. This little door is very easy to see. And inside you can see all the little, now.
We're going to test them, but I see there is a diagram on the door, so you want to lift it? And...
Yeah, let's take a look. What does it say?
12-volt plug, I bet you that's what it is, 20 amps.
Okay.
It cannot be that easy.
Hey, man.
Can it?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
So the question is, do you look at it this way? I think so, right? So what you need to do is you take this and go back to your fuse box. For example, you see there is no fuse there, and orient yourself, right? So if on the total left you have a 7.5 amp fuse followed by 20, you know that's where you are, right? And here's cigar. Okay, now this is getting confusing because cigar is a 10 amp fuse. So what is the 12-volt plug?
So if they had a cigarette light.
Right, but why two fuses? Because to me they're the same thing. Anyway,
But they're not.
The plot thickness, but they're two fuses.
Plot thickness. Yes. Yeah.
You want something to
That'd be nice.
see if that's the orientation? I think it is.
I think
It's the second from top 20 and then the
Yep.
third of the top at 10,
Yep. We have a 7.5 at the top, a 20, and then a 10, and then a 15.
which is completely agrees with our diagram, right? So we're going to check those two, the 20, which is a yellow, I believe, and the 10, which is normally a red.
And to the right of the 20, the next one should be 15, and then is it a blank?
Correct.
Okay, we're oriented.
So that's how if you want to show it. Can you show it both?
So again, you saw the 20 is a blank one. We were able to orient 20 space.
So if you're not lucky enough to have a diagram in your car, again, not every car has it, unfortunately, it complicates things a little bit because then you will have to test every fuse, right? In our case, we're going to do the following. We're going to test one known good fuse. In our case, the easiest will be the top left one, the one just above the suspected broken one, right? And I'm going to hold this for Elpida. You can drop that now. Our multimeter is kind of fancy. You don't have to have, anyone will do. And in a continuity mode, it's going to beep.
Okay.
So tell us when you touch the top fuse. It's a little cramped there, guys. And you can hear the tone, which means that's a good fuse, right? So tell us when you touch the second fuse, which is the suspected bad.
Oh, now it's going.
I'll try the third. Are you sure you're not touching the two probes?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this leads us to nothing so far. We thought we have it, but we do not. So let us recoup. So we remove the fuse because when you check it in the box, you have to touch those two little points, and sometimes you could by accident touch the probes to each other, right? But outside, and we use just a pair of pliers. There are tools to remove them, we just don't have them. But clearly you see now the fuse decided to commit suicide.
Yes.
You could see that the fuse is good because we can hear a tone. But you can see it's difficult.
Yeah, sorry, this is a little...
Actually, it's harder out of the box than it is in the box. Sometimes you also have to hold the fuse.
Let me try it the other way because I'm a right-handed person, not left. It might help with my dexterity. There we go.
So we have continuity, that's a good fuse. And when you have the fuse out, there is another easy way to say it's by looking at it. You can see, we cannot see because but you can see that there is not a blown element.
Right.
That you-looking thing is the fuse element, right? So we're going to replace this fuse and we're going to remove the other one that we suspected as bad. So Elpida, I think that the fuses are not blown because we have a bunch of them. And we have every capacity, every amperage, right?
Yes.
So this is a little disappointed. I thought it would be fast and easy. So our next step is to look at the fuse box under the engine. But we don't have anything else that doesn't work to my knowledge. So that makes me think that's probably not an issue, right? But we'll see.
Yeah.
So this is not labeled, but I think this is the fuse box. And the reason I think that's the fuse box is because I can see a fairly large bundle of cables going into it. So we're going to unhook it.
It's got two buttons.
Two buttons. And yeah, does it have a thing underneath?
Yes.
But it is not as easy to read. So we're going to read it off camera to see if we find something that makes sense.
Okay.
The advantage of this is that it's a little easier to test, right?
Right.
You're not cramped and you're... And what we did, we had a video in the past where the backup fuse was the fuse that was bad in one of our cars and solved all kinds of problems. So we say, okay, maybe twice, but no. So we're looking and we're trying to find a fuse. And by the way, Elpida, that is a fuse pulling tool.
Okay.
For people that don't know that, right? There are not many. You want to test all of them or?
Well, it said lighting, so I thought maybe.
Okay, well, it's not a light.
Yeah, but they're doing weird stuff, that's all.
All right, no go still, so we will work to try to find it. Since the diagram is not making any sense to us, we are checking all the fuses. It's easier to do those fuses than under the dash, right, Elpida?
Yeah.
And so we're testing them all. If they all test positive, then the plot thickens.
Then I guess we go back under the dash.
Or the thick plotters, right, and that makes it more complex to fit. But we're going to try it and see, right?
Yeah, so all these smaller ones are...
All right, so the next easy step, and I say easy, but Elpida will disagree with you, is to use that to see if we have continuity in actually inside the little barrel thing, you know?
Barrel?
Yeah. So we checked all the fuses, and all the fuses test good.
Yeah.
So we're going to go inside and test the barrel, and we'll be back. So we're looking inside our socket here,
The one in question.
and we're going to try and see if we have either power or continuity. No, that was the machine telling you that it is not liking what you're doing. So we did not get either continuity or voltage. You can hear the engine running because I wanted to see if we get any voltage here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not having continuity and voltage here leads me to believe that the problem is somewhere in here.
Right.
So we're going to try to remove it and fix it on another video, right?
Okay.
But at least we show you the basic steps on how to troubleshoot some basic electric problems.
Yep.
Elpida, you have never done that before. Anything you want to tell our viewers?
Well, I helped you with the other video, so yeah, I did.
I know, but you have not done it yourself. This is the first time
Oh
you
yeah, not for... Yeah, it's pretty easy if you have the right tools, and that's the basis for a lot of DIY is having the right tools, right?
did. And again, you don't need something as fancy as my system.
Right, there are much less expensive ones.
Right, you can buy one for $5.
Right.
We will finish the repair in another video because I do not have the necessary tool to remove the plug. But it is not as hard as you might think, and it is really going to save you a lot of money and make your car operate as it always should. We hope you appreciated this episode. If you did, let us know by pressing the like button, and if you didn't, press the other button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Do you want to see more videos like this troubleshooting electrical issues from Professor DIY? Thank you for watching, and let's fix our cars together.